What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In today's video, we are hopping into the full story arc of Batman Off-World. After an alien makes its way to Gotham, he finds himself as hired muscle, and then when confronted by the Batman quickly learns that he is far out of his league. Needing to understand who this dude is, where he comes from, and how he can defeat them, Batman takes to the stars. It takes him to the Slag Galaxy, a galaxy at war, constant chaos. Batman made his way into the stars to learn to combat this guy. But when Batman leaves, the stars will remember the legend of the Bat. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this brand new series, we are picking up in Space Sector 0909. This is the Slag Galaxy, an ungoverned galaxy. It is also 8 megaparsecs away from Earth. We have an alien ship that is currently picking up a much smaller ship. Not even sure how this unidentified alien species ship got out here, but they pick it up and they say to send it to the recruiters, that this will serve greatly for the war storm. As these two aliens begin to board this ship, they see how primitive it is. They laugh at the controls, at the way that this thing was dang near unable to even make it out here to begin with. But this is when they see him, the monster hiding in the shadows. They begin to open fire, but we can hear the commotion. They are being torn apart by something with some kind of wings, some kind of flightless bird. As they are getting these updates, we see Captain Sin, the captain of this ship, asking where is the alien now. As we pick up in the hangar bay, what we see is Batman making his way out of this ship, the artificial gravity messing with him in tremendous ways. Feeling sluggish but also weightless at the same time, barely able to breathe correctly. Everything about this place is screaming at him that he doesn't belong here, but he throws out his smoke grenades. He uses his surroundings to his advantage. They send in the robots to take care of him. They would much rather not have an organic go out there and be taken out. They have a war effort to get to, and so every flesh and blood they want to preserve. As the robots march out, we quickly learn that they have been taken down because Batman finding some kind of alien chainsaw. He begins to tear these robots to pieces, with Captain Sin saying that he is going to go down to the hangar. Batman sees that these aliens, they are not afraid of him. They don't know Batman. He hasn't instilled the fear inside of their hearts just of yet, but he plans to. This is where Captain Sin comes into the room, wondering why all of the trouble has been over this one small individual. But Captain Sin does say, "I will give you the first punch." With Batman charging up his fist, he goes to punch Captain Sin with 10,000 volts of electricity. And then Batman wakes up after being unconscious. He hit that guy with 10,000 volts and he didn't even flinch. He did hit Batman 3 times. Only 2 of them he does remember. Now he is down here with all of the captured, and the ones down here are no more friendly than the ones up top. This is where we have a Thanagarian show her face, saying that the bird boy owes her some money because she bet that he was going to die. But what she also does is ensure nobody messes with Batman. This Thanagarian's name is Ion, and Batman is able to understand all of them because while he was asleep, they put a lingo chip into his neck. Whispering in his ear, she tells him that you are locked up with the rejects, ones that don't cut it to be war stormers. They will keep you around until they are sick and tired of you, and then they'll send you to get asteroids out of the turbines. She tells him to get ready to move on my signal, but Batman says no. He has no intention of escaping this place. You see, Batman came here for a reason. He had purchased a newly developed prototype ship from Star Labs. paying $532 million for a one-way trip, but he believes that he had no other choice. The War Storm is surrounded by an artificial generated stellar hurricane. This means it is impenetrable, inescapable. It travels the galaxy, abducting any able-bodied beings it finds. It forces them to train as mercenary soldiers. In the Slag Galaxy, most resources are reserved for the mining industry. That means weapons are very precious, while flesh is cheap, and so they are trained to kill with their hands. They perfect their killing blows with the help of combat training robots. And when those bots become too damaged, they are recycled. This is where we find Batman recycling these old robots. Because the captain had deemed him too puny for training, he was given this task. But his new task in his mind is surviving. As he goes to throw one of these robots away, he sees that it is still active, believing that he can get information from this. While he is mopping floors, he questions the robot on everything and anything. While he does this, Ion goes on to let him know that that robot can only tell you so much. Captain Sin is an Ikarian. He makes his fortune selling stormers to the Black Sun Mining Company. There is no way to bribe yourself out of this. But the Thanagarian is very curious on why Batman is here. Why are you going after Captain Sin? After some deduction, she thinks that Batman is in love, thinking that he is doing all of this so that he can escape and get back to that love. And for Batman, it is true. There is a love that he is trying to get back to, but it is a love that he has to protect. That love is Gotham. As we pick up in the past with Batman fighting some villains, as he takes down these thugs and begins to do what Batman does best. This is where he learns that these guys today, they have hired some backup. They have brought in an off-worlder. Wanting to take Batman down once and for all, they hired some new muscle. This is where we see a soldier standing before Batman, the same species as Captain Sin. This man is from the War Storm. He begins to tell Batman that you are what everybody is so afraid of, because where he comes from, the Slag Galaxy would eat him alive. Batman throwing a punch and this man not even moving his face. We pick back up in present day. Batman fighting one of the robots, telling this robot that you can punch me back. What he wants is to learn the fighting styles of every alien species this robot knows. He wants to be able to counter everything because back in Gotham, Batman got the bricks beat off of him. He was taken down multiple times by Captain Sin and all those like him. He knows that he is not ready to fight them yet, that he is not anywhere close. But Batman is preparing. Alright gang, so we pick up aboard the War Storm, the prisoners that are deemed unfit for mercenary training. Their purpose is the massive engines. The engines getting clogged up with space debris. It is their job to go out and clear out any debris that might be there. The captain not bothering powering down the engines during this process. Here in the Slag universe, the war doesn't stop for anybody. It is to be said that only the strongest, the cruelest survive this. Even one trip. No one in living memory has ever survived two. That is until Batman arrived. This is his 5th trip. This is when one of the guards comes up to Batman. After Batman saved one of these people's lives, he goes on to ask what Batman is doing, because nobody died today, and that is a problem for them. That's when he grabs the alien that Batman just saved, and he tosses him into the gears. Batman knows this alien life form. He has been training and preparing. This is a Branx, native to the Vega system, skin hard as stone. More power in one forearm than he has in his whole body. This is where we see Batman training with that robot, the Punch Bot. While he trains, explaining to the robot, letting him know that he doesn't train to kill. He trains to incapacitate. This is when we also have the arrival of the Thanagarian known as Ion, sneaking through the air ducts. She's been selling hooch all over this place, but she's been waiting for her opportunity to break free. She wants Batman's help in doing so, but Batman refuses to do so. He doesn't want to leave until he has learned how to fight these guys to their fullest. And this is when Ion begins to train Batman. She knows how to fight. She's a storm chaser. She has spent her life wrestling down any kind of fugitive from all kinds of species. We pick up with Batman's fight. His first move is to knock out one of the Tusks. Enraged, the alien charges Batman, and Batman gets the upper hand. He takes the alien's weapon and he knocks him out. This is when the rest of the guards show up, asking who is this man. All of the prisoners say that he is the Batman. And we see Batman fight. After all of this training with Ion, learning these skills, learning these abilities, he has learned weaknesses, soft spots in the armor, and he exploits these at every opportunity. But in the end, Batman is overwhelmed. Far too many for him to take on alone, but it did take 36 stormers to bring him down. Ion making a brag that it took 46 to take her down, but she is also here in prison because they finally caught up with her. With Ion going on to talk about how she was in love once as well, because this whole time she has been believing that Batman has some kind of love waiting for him back home that he is trying to get to, that he is trying to protect, not understanding that the love he has is the love of his city, the need to protect it at all costs against all enemies. She fell in love with the person that she was supposed to take down. At the end of the day, she did her job and she took him down, but she has held the regret and remorse of this, even had grand ideas of trying to break him out, only to find out that he was killed shortly after being dropped off. During the whole conversation, Batman was breaking his cuffs, asking Ion if she is ready to break out of this place. The two break out of their cell, they break the others out, and they attack the Stormers. While this is all happening, we have the Punchbot that is arriving with the Weathermen, the ones that control everything going on in the storm, with Punchbot lying to them, letting them know that he is here to help perform some maintenance. In the Weathermen's confusion, Punchbot attacks. The storm disabled, and Punchbot has cleared the path for Batman. But Punchbot takes a round directly to the torso in the process. With all the prisoners hopping onto the ship, Batman runs to go save Punchbot. As he runs to save the robot, this is when he runs into the Icarian, native to the Slag Galaxy. This is the guy that took him down, or the species that took him down before. But Batman has trained for this. He is prepared for this fight. With Ion trying to make the prisoners wait for Batman, they can't wait much longer. They fire up the engines. Batman fighting against the alien, but he is simply not enough. The Icarian has thrown Batman out of an airlock, falling through space unprotected. No air left in his lungs, only seconds before he passes out, suffocates, and freezes. With Batman out here on the verge of death, the Weathermen are letting the Icarian know that an escape pod has launched. No life forms aboard, but it is flying directly towards Batman. Punchbot plugged himself into the system. His last goodbye and last thank you to Batman. A thank you for teaching Punchbot how to punch back. That escape pod running right into Batman, Batman grabs hold of it and gets himself inside. Able to make it out alive, he crash lands on a planet known as Ikari. For Batman, this is exactly where he needs to be to complete his training. The Icarians are the ones that always put him down, but these Icarians don't know him like that. They let him know that the only thing you will learn here is suffering and the depths of despair. This once was a planet that was plentiful, but then the miners came, the Black Sun Mining Company. They claimed the ground as their own, and they siphoned off every single thing they could from this planet. Their children kidnapped to keep them in line, to keep them working as slaves. And once the planet was depleted, they left. And now the Ikari people are nothing but meat for the starving beasts that lay in the land. The barbed wolves have devoured as they please, wondering, is Batman here to answer their prayers? And Batman tells them that he is not here to answer prayers, but he might be able to take care of the wolves. Going to the wolves' den, Batman calling out the Alpha Wolf. He lets them know that the feast, it will end here, that he is the Batman of Gotham. He has traveled further from Earth than he can truly comprehend. Yet in this darkness, he is home. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we pick up with Batman bleeding, his uniform torn, but the wolves he had gone to face, the barbed wolves. It appears that he has tamed one of them, Batman letting the elders know that after much intense discussion, the barbed wolves had decided not to prey on the people any longer, that they will hunt other game. We also see that Ion is here. She has come to rescue Batman, and Batman immediately letting her know that he's gonna have to build a new suit before they head off. He has every intention of heading back to that ship, and Batman is bringing one of the barbed wolves with him. He fought the Alpha for hours, when the wolf could have gone in for the killing blow. Instead of killing Batman, it showed him respect. Now, he likes to believe that the wolf saw something in him, saw that he was worth more alive than dead. But as we pick up weeks later, sitting in an asteroid field, we see them preparing, Batman building his new suit, and Ion is trying to convince him to not do this, to go the other direction. She can take him home, they can end all of this right now. And what we see is that Batman and Ion, they've built up a relationship. As the two of them kiss, both of them know that Batman is not giving up this mission. Now, this is weeks later, so they've had discussions, they've talked. She understands that Gotham is his true love. She was just hoping that she might be enough to lure him away, to take him away from this entire mission that he's trying to do. But the mission will always continue on for Batman. This is where we pick up, and the War Storm has found them. Their stellar hurricane defense shield is activated, and Batman is torpedoed directly into the hurricane. Whatever he did to that suit, it allows him to go through it. He is able to break through, and he makes it onto the ship that is the size of a city itself. Batman killing the lights, the gravity off. He begins to pick off each of these guys one by one. And as one of them grabs hold of him, we see Batman's fist charging up, and this punch is one heck of a blow. This suit is energized, making him stronger, making him faster, making his hits even harder. And as his chest is exposed, we see the bat symbol completely illuminated, his fist charged up with energy. These guys never stood a chance. Opening up the hangar door, this lets Ion and the wolf on board. Heading up to the main deck, we see that the guards are being called. All hands on deck. And so those that are working, they decide to take breaks. And we see Punchbot. He is still alive, and he believes that Batman has come back to rescue him, that he has come back for Punchbot. But as Batman makes his way through these corridors, we see the big man, the one that has been putting Batman down time and time again. Now he comes in and he knocks out the wolf in one punch. Him and Batman standing toe to toe. Batman's fists are glowing, and he begins to throw his punches. This time, Batman is ready. After weeks and weeks of preparation, about learning his enemy, about where he comes from, visiting the home world, he has come to understand these people. He has come to understand their weaknesses. He knows every pressure point, every major nerve cluster. It takes 11 kicks. It takes 23 strikes before Batman puts this guy down. But now that Batman has won, his objective is completed. He has learned everything he needs to go back home. But for some reason, he feels like his work is not done. This is when he asks Ion about the mining company, the one that is behind all of this. This is where we see those behind the mining company. Jumping us over to a ship, we see people that are considered traitors, ones that tried to overthrow these two, referring to themselves as the Black Sun Twins. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we pick up in the Slag Galaxy. We are picking up on one of the Black Sun Moon mining clusters, one of many mining facilities throughout the galaxy. They are currently being approached by the War Storm, a Zeta beam bringing in the payload. The Overseer and all the soldiers here, they're expecting new recruits, but instead what they get is Batman and his hound. Without hesitation, Batman begins to crack some skulls, grabbing hold of the Overseer and letting him know that you need to tell your bosses, wherever the War Storm flies, worlds are going to be freed. To tell them the storm is coming, that Batman is coming for the Black Suns. This is what takes us to the Black Sun Mining Company. We pick up with Lady Wrath. one of two siblings in charge of the Black Sun Mining Company, and she is just now receiving the message from Batman, talking to Captain Sin, learning about his failure, learning about this individual known as Batman, telling her brother Lord Whisper to deliver the message. This is where Captain Sin gets beat down, being punished for his failure. But more than that, they are now trying to learn where Batman comes from, and they're beginning to kick around ideas on how they might be able to kill him. They want him brought here alive to the Orb of Orphans. Because he has done all of this all by himself, they have found themselves very intrigued. They still plan to kill him, but they would like to have some words with him first. This is what takes us into the depths of space. Batman going from one colony to another and liberating them. But with every punch, he sees Gotham. He sees it drenched in blood. That if he lets these people get away with this, they will come for him. But he also feels Gotham calling to him. He finds himself growing more desperate to get home, angry that he is still here, in a place where he has no right to be, but coming up to planet after planet, colony after colony, and seeing all of these enslaved people, saving orphans. He knows this is a fight he can't abandon. He knows that Batman still has work to do, and so this anger, this drive to get home, this leads him to push himself, to bring an end to this conflict as quickly as possible so that he can get home. But as we pick up a couple weeks ago, we have Ione here having a conversation with Batman. Really, it's an argument. She's trying to tell him that you should just leave, that you freed the War Storm. You have the capability to go home, you've learned your enemy, you know how to defeat them if they come to you. But she is confused on why he wants to stay here. What could be the purpose? And he says it's because of all those that are oppressed, all those enslaved, that he cannot stand by and watch this happen. For her, she finds this rather offensive because she asked Batman to stay and he said no. He said that he must return home. Really, it's her feelings that got hurt. She wanted Batman to stay for her. And as the conversation continues on, Batman says that I want you to come with me. I want you to come along, help me save these people. But for her, if Batman had asked to come because Batman wants her to, because there's a possibility that the two of them might have a relationship, then she would have more than willingly come along. But she knows that Batman, he is in love with the fight. He is in love with being Batman. She knows that there is no room for her, that the love for vengeance, the love for getting justice, it will always overshadow any relationship that could be. This is what takes us to the Black Sun Mining Company's secret weapon, one of the most notorious storm chasers in all the Slag Galaxy. His real name is unknown. He is simply known as the Thanagarian. Wanted on murder and interstellar kidnapping charges by the Hawk Police back on his home planet. Wanted by the Science Rangers of Ron and the Green Lanterns of 16 space sectors. And he has just been given orders to hunt down Batman. As we pick up with Batman, he is currently getting ambushed, with Punchbot doing all he can to operate the systems, but this ship usually operates with an 800+ crew. Right now, it's Punchbot, the Hound, and Batman. And Batman just took one of the ships to go and try to stand off against all of these forces, using the Zeta Beam to beam all of the pilots, the enemy pilots, into the brig. Batman is still holding firm on his code of no one dies. This is when Batman gets a notification of a ship coming in faster than any of the others. Too small to actually identify. We see something come in and smash right through Batman's ship. That thing was the Thanagarian. He came in, grabbed Batman out of the ship, and pulled him into space. With Batman talking to Punchbot, trying to figure out what the heck he is even looking at. Punchbot fills him in on exactly who this guy is. This is something that Batman did not train for. This whole time he's been telling himself that he is the Storm, the face of war for a galaxy in peril, but he finds himself still so blind, just a child fumbling around in the darkness. the ninth metal on his wings stopping or interfering with the Zeta beam, and thinking to himself that maybe she was right. Maybe he should have gone home when he had the chance. As it looks like Batman is about to get taken out, 26 million miles away, we have Jim Gordon putting up the bat signal, and they have come to terms with Batman is simply not coming. Alfred has been scanning for deep space transmissions, and he has found no message. In the Batcave alone, with nothing but the memory of Bruce. Now, in a saloon in the Slag Galaxy, we have the Overseer and somebody else having a conversation. They are talking about the 2 million credits that are out for Batman's head. But the word is that the Thanagarian is already out there picking up the trail. So the likelihood that somebody else is gonna get there first probably won't happen. But sitting in this bar just so happens to be Ione. Alright gang, so as we pick up in this issue, we're picking up with Batman in space. He is being hunted by the mercenary by the name of Thang, wielding a mighty ninth metal hammer. He hit Batman so hard, Batman forgot where he was for a moment, giving the order to open fire on his position. They are surrounded by Black Sun interceptors, a swarm of them strafing the war storm, with bombs powerful enough to obliterate asteroids and splinter moons. And in all the chaos, Batman is trying to hold his own, having his powered suit. It is the only thing that is not only keeping him alive, but is keeping him a contender in this fight. Batman knows that this guy was sent by the mining company, sent to kill or cripple the Batman, a killer that is used to fighting in outer space, murdering in orbit, with a mace that hits like a wrecking ball. Batman knows that he's got to hit him with something bigger. That's when he plants a bomb onto his chest, and he hits him with the fist the size of a city. Back home, that might be enough, but out here versus this storm chaser, it's not even close. Batman tastes the metal of his hammer, feels a tooth loosen, migrate up to his nose, and every moment he is reminded how far away from home he truly is. With ships breaching the war storm, they are quickly taken down by Batman's Warwolf and Punchbot. Batman thinking to himself that he had a chance to end this war, or at least to walk away from it, but he chose to fight in it. While all this is going on, we have Punchbot that is attempting to reboot the defense shields. He is also single-handedly waging a space battle against the remaining interceptors, a job that would typically require at least 300. A feat so impressive that he now demands to go by the name of Warbot. Now at this point, Batman, he's just getting wrecked. Can't open his left eye, jaw dislocated, and Gotham, the vermin are crawling out of their holes that he put them in. But they think that Batman is gone and is never coming back. Eardrums bursted, gloves filling with blood. Everything that he has worked for is hemorrhaging. An opponent that is winged, merciless, and armed with space metal beyond his comprehension. This is when he tells the robot to activate the storm shields, to patch it directly into his circuits. Now he's in the storm stacks. If he triggers this, it could end Batman. It could be disastrous. But he gives the order. All of that power surges to Batman's suit. The full force of a cosmic superstorm, all directly going to his knuckles. The suit's not gonna hold together for long, and neither will he. Once the suit falters, the turbines will burn him to ash. But punching with the power of a hurricane, somewhere out there in the darkness, orphans are screaming, and his fists scream with them. Many fury fists later, Batman has thrown him over his shoulder. As he goes to take him away, Thang elbows Batman in the face, and Batman tells him straight up, like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. Like, you lost. Just stop. Now, Thang goes on to say that I'm not done with you. Batman saying your wings inside the storm sack. You can go get them if you really want them. But Thang says, no metal, no armor, just meat and knuckles. Let's go blow for blow. Batman tells him that if you want a punching contest, all you have to do is look behind you. As he is teleported out of here, Thang finds himself surrounded by punchbots. You see, Batman is abandoning the war storm. Him and Warbot, they're headed off. The War Storm is simply slowing them down. It's too big of a target. He knows that he's got to get out there. He's got to find out who is behind the mining company. Who are the Black Suns? This is what takes us to the Black Suns. Wrath and his brother sit here until they talk to the people of this planet. You see, word of Batman has spread among the planets. People have seen his symbol, they have heard his name, they have heard of his rebellion, and people have begun to revolt. Species from all walks of life are fighting against the mining company. The Black Sun twins are here to remind them that this is a foolish endeavor, that there is no freedom, that you have been misled, there is no savior, there is no hope. But they tell them that if you so choose to want your freedom, if you want your rebellion, here is your opportunity. Here is your chance. We now stand before you. Go ahead and try to be Batman. This is what takes us aboard the War Storm. We have Ione showing up here saying that Batman is no longer here. She's trying to track him down, and the only thing that she finds is Thang. He's sitting here beating the crap out of punchbots. What he's letting her know is that the Batman is mine, that he's gonna deliver him to the Black Suns as requested alive. And she knows that he's gonna do this, that nothing is gonna stop him. That's why she lifts up her pistol. Not knowing exactly what she's gonna do here, we pick up with Batman. Batman has made it to where the Black Sun twins just were. The two of them came here alone, and as they walk through the lands of this place, they see the devastating power. Hundreds of thousands of millions dead. The strong one known as Wrath. She was responsible for some of this. The rest of these people, they did it to one another. The entire ordeal appears to have taken mere moments. The Warbot going on to say one cannot help but think that this is at least somewhat in response to the spread of uprisings through the mining colonies, to the spread of the Batman. When asked how many, there have been 12,937,415,673 people. This is how many people have died because of Batman. Because he gave hope to people. Let them believe that they could rise up. Let them believe that they could fight against the Black Sun twins. And Batman is recognizing that he is so far out of his depth. So far, it is absurd. 13 billion people are dead because of him, because of a man dressed like a bat, who set out to stop muggers and monsters. He knows that when he gets back, he's definitely gotta seek therapy, to accept that this whole Batman thing, maybe this isn't the path he should be taking. This is when Ione comes up to him, heard about what happened, tried tracking him down, and in this moment, he's choked up on words, flooded with images. He knows what to say to her in this moment, he just doesn't have the guts to say it. But she sees it in his eyes, and he sees something in hers. That's just before she picks up the gun. This is what takes us to the Orb of Orphans. Ione is the one that turns in the Batman to the Black Sun twins. She says nothing except that this man means nothing to me, and she walks out. And now the Black Sun twins, they're gonna have a word with the Batman. Alright gang, so we're hopping into the Slag Galaxy. We're in the Orb of Orphans, headquarters of the Black Sun Mining Company. We have the Black Sun brother that is whispering into the ear of Batman. Words so delicate that they're barely audible, yet each syllable, it's like a needle piercing into his brain. This man's name is Whisper Black Sun, and he speaks the unspeakable. Batman knows that nothing he does will drown this out. Throughout the entire orb, all you can hear are the screams of Batman. This is where we pick up with Ione, making her way onto the ship. She frees the Wolf and Punchbot. This was all Batman's plan. She tried to tell Batman it was a bad idea. The truth is, she wanted to run, but Batman convinced her to fight. She came here to help him, and now it appears that he's giving up, thinking that he can't beat the Black Suns. And she would say that you're right, you can't can't. That if you can't understand why, look around. Look at the hundreds of thousands of bodies that surround us. All these people died because they believed in you. They were crazy enough to believe in the power of the stupid Batman. And now she is as well. Back at the War Storm, she had an opportunity to take someone out right then and there. When she fired, she missed. And she never misses. Telling Batman that you did this to me, wondering how he can live like this. But saying you don't get to quit now. That this is bigger than you. Bigger than some 2-bit storm chaser. The two of them teaming up together. This is how they got to the Black Suns. Our storm chaser taking Batman in. A Trojan horse into the mining company. And now her, the Wolf, and Punchbot, they're making their way to Batman. Now Batman right now, he is suffering. He is suffering hard. But lesser men, they would have died by now. Whisper isn't able to kill Batman. And when the security alerts go off, Wraith Blacksun goes to find out what's going on, telling his brother to hurry up. With Batman's ears bleeding, eyes bleeding, every part of him seizing and shutting down, he can still see a flicker of something in Whisper's face. Frustration. His voice quickens. Batman's hands want to claw out his own skull, but he focuses on that flicker. Batman sits up, and he whispers back. As we pick up with Ione, the Wolf Pup, and Punchbot, Wraith has found his way to them, and as he lays down some hate, Ione is able to get the upper hand. Pistol pointed right at his face. She pulls that trigger, saying that she's not supposed to be killing anybody anymore, but someone super strong like him. She says, let me know when it's ready to feel like you're dying. Once you're at that point, then I might start pulling my punches on you. But when he turns the tide in this fight, when he gets the upper hand, he thinks that he's won. What he did not expect was Punchbot. Batman thinking to himself that this place, the Slag Galaxy, this raw, ungoverned meat grinder of a star system, this place is made to devour. Nothing can live here unscarred, ungnawed, undigested. This war-torn alien galaxy, the one he came to in arrogance and ignorance, by all rights should have eaten him alive. Why didn't it? That's the question that troubles the Whisper Black Sun, the one he sees in the furrows of his brow, the tremble in his lip, just before those vicious whispers of his turned to a scream. He spoke horrors to Batman. Batman speaks truth to him. He tells him of an orphan in an alley, a bat through a window, the story behind each and every one of his scars. He tells this Black Sun how he chose war every day, that he traveled across 8 mega parsecs just to be here. He tells this to the killer of billions, that no matter the horrors he spews, his galaxy will be free. He tells him all of this in so many words, as he whispers over and over again, I'm Batman. As Batman and his forces descend on Wraith, Batman had to travel a long way from home to learn the true meaning of these words, and to spread that message through a galaxy without hope, one punch at a time, one he can never do alone. He is Batman, but so are they. With the Black Sun brothers falling, the orb of orphans taken down, long a place of suffering and wrongful imprisonment, the cells have been emptied of its prisoners, all but the Black Sun brothers. The mining company dissolved. The many worlds that made up the company's holdings are being returned to the rightful owners, along with everything that had been stolen from them. The mining operations, for the first time anybody can remember, the Slag Galaxy has been freed. No stormers, no slaves, no wars, no more orphans. Batman telling Ione that this galaxy, it's gonna be lawless for a while. There will be chaos. These worlds are gonna need somebody to protect them. With a long kiss goodbye, it's a long trip back to Earth. 26 million light years, this time soaring through the endless darkness. It's like he had never realized how cold and quiet, how lonesome it can get, so far from home. As soon as he lands, he knows where he's headed. He doesn't bother to stop and shower. He wants this guy to smell the Slag Galaxy. Back in the stars, we have our captain, who is out here protecting the galaxy. A system has been created in the Slag Galaxy. Whenever whenever someone is in danger, whenever a planet is in danger, they send out the beacon. The bat symbol shines bright, and Captain Ione and Punchbot, aka now Batbot, they're on their way as we see Batman taking down the alien foe that once made him look like a little kid, that sent him to the Slag Galaxy, sent him looking for answers. It takes him 5 kicks, 11 strikes, and then he finds himself staring at the stars, lost on other worlds, far away. For a moment, he forgets where he is. For a moment, nothing more, because he is the Batman of Gotham, and there is much work to do, as we get a mission postscript from Star Labs, a listening probe reporting fragments of a deep space chatter detected from a distant galaxy, as we see the Wolf, Batbot, and Captain Ione. A growing legend is heard. They hear about the fall of a war storm, about the crumblings of the Black Sun mining empire, and through the Slag Galaxy, they hear the whispers, they hear the tales, they hear the legend of the Bat. And that will be the end of this series. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Batman Off-World has been absolutely fantastic. Arguably one of the best things that they've had done with Batman in a long time. Now, there's obviously great Batman stories, but I enjoy this one in particular because it takes Batman out of his element. You know, there's so many comics that are like, oh, well, you know, Batman's got prep time, he's got all this gear, he's got this, he's got that. This takes everything from him. It puts him in a galaxy where everything's stronger than him. Everything is better than him. Everything gets the upper hand. Everything has the advantage. And Batman, he gets humbled many times. It takes lots of training, lots of understanding before he can even find himself in a capacity where he can fight back. And that's what I love about this story. It wasn't Batman just having the answer. It was Batman having to find the answer, having to understand he could never do this by himself. He had to have the whole galaxy rise up. He needed people to help him along the way, much like some kind of special forces operator. He went into the Slag Galaxy. He began a resistance, a rebellion. The people began to rise up, and eventually they fought back. I'd like to think that stories like this might have actually happened with Batman. You know, because this is Batman's early days. This is his early days in Gotham, early days of being Batman. So these are the kind of lessons that he would need to eventually become the kind of Batman that already has an answer for everything. The kind of Batman that's like, damn, I just got my ass kicked by this alien. I need to go find out where he's from, find out about him, find out his anatomy, find out how I can defeat them in case they ever return, in case I ever have to deal with like a deal with a guy like this again. I think these small little side quests that Batman goes on are imperative to the man that Batman will eventually become, to the tactician that he inevitably builds himself into. All in all, Batman Off-World was a fantastic little series. I definitely hope we get some more from the Slag Galaxy, though I'm not gonna hold my breath on that one. Definitely would love to see more of Batman soloing the galaxy and getting his butt kicked. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything that has been going on with Batman Off-World, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It's gonna get you completely caught up on everything that is going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.